how to deal with brilliant jerks.
Okay. So this is a good one. I actually wrote a nice article on this, and I have a rule of thumb that I've had to deal with this a couple of times, and I sort of it's very difficult, right? Because a brilliant jerk to me is somebody that is actually, they are very effective at what they're doing, but they are kind of burning bridges left and right while they're doing it. They're either just talking bad about their teammates, or they're maybe giving terrible feedback, or maybe just all sorts of things that and that's why I guess the jerk is in the name. But the idea is that these people are effective, they know what they're doing, and they might even be your best employees, but they do such a bad job with the rest of the team that they actually reduce the amount of output from the rest of the group. So even though they might be excellent themselves, when you pair it up with the overall how well the rest of the team is doing, it could be very detrimental. So my rule of thumb is, these people aren't, again, they're not bad. I like to think of it like a bad apple. Sometimes a bad apple is not really bad because it doesn't look good. It might look delicious, it might look very plump, but there's worms in it. And so I like that analogy, because if we've got a case of apples and one of them has worms, if we wait too long, the worms are going to be in every other apple. And so my rule of thumb has always been to deal with this kind of situation. The moment that a worm shows up in another apple, like the moment that you see someone else on the team, exhibit that same behavior of just lashing out, maybe cursing at people, or whatever it may be that the behavior is. That's now up until that point, I really like to work with people and try to, especially they're hardworking and they do a great job. I've spent so many one-on-ones trying to help people with their behavior, and I think and sometimes it's worked, and sometimes it's worked, but there's been some situations where it's just impossible. And so I think it's really, really important, the moment that other members of the team, especially like more junior members that are very vulnerable to kind of picking up behavior from other people on the team, I think once that shows up, you gotta act, and you gotta act fast, because after that, you're gonna your whole team is going to be brilliant jerks.
True.
It's going to have worms.
No, I agree with you. And initially, as you said, because of your experience, that as soon as you see, you have to address it, and you cannot waste time here. But when you are a new manager, I've been through this myself.
Oh yeah.
You are very unsure of, and you don't know without this brilliant person how that you can deliver things. But with my experience over all these years, I also came to the conclusion it is much better to address them quickly and try to deliver the project without them is much better than try to keep them around and poison the well as such.
Exactly.
Because the morale of everybody is more important, I think, in today's day and time, because it is a team sport. Software development is a team sport. No one person does everything. So I fully agree with you.
I mean, plus it's a huge risk if one person does everything.
Yes.
It's a huge risk to the whole team. And so, one sort of thing about those brilliant jerks is like they like things done a certain way, and if anybody comes up. And one other thing that seems to happen, Rafa, is like you see other people become afraid. They no longer they're afraid to speak up and give their opinion about what to do about a solution they might have, because they're going to get cut down by this person. And that that's when people stop speaking up and you start hearing diverse viewpoints and these other things. I mean, you got to act, because the worms are spreading. So I think those are the signals if you're a new manager. Basically, if you've got somebody that is constantly cutting people down, not letting them speak up, and is saying like, "Oh, that's a shit solution," all the time. Those are very strong signals that you're dealing with this, and you have to deal with it quick. Like if you let it go for years, you're going to have systems that only one person understands, and you're going to have a team that is just you're going to be in a bad place.
True. Agree with you. Yeah.